Our next speaker, Valerio Bozzolan, president of the Italian Linux Society, and he will explain us how to get a refund on Microsoft Windows license. Welcome on stage.
Okay, thank you again. We survived the conference, so it's the last lightning talk. I'm here to share an experience from our fantastic volunteer, Luca Bonissi from Italy, and it's about, well, kind of refusing to pay an unused proprietary license on your computer. So I'm 20 seconds, Valerio Bozzolan, chair of Italian Linux Society. It's a non-profit association in Italy. We have 300 voting members, so it's a kind of big association in Italy, and like Wikimedia Italy, for example, like also Wikimedia Italy has these kind of numbers. And I like also to contribute on OpenStreetMap and on Wikimedia projects, so maybe we can see around in this kind of projects. And at work, I'm a consultant, and especially for Wikimedia Switzerland. But 13 days ago, it was a very nice day in Italy, because 52 cities at the same time, in the very same day, organized 52 conferences in the same day, again, for the Linux Day to celebrate free software and open source. So please share a small applause for Bari, Bergamo, Bologna, Genova, Imperia, all the Italian cities that really, thanks for this amazing community that organized this awesome celebration about open source and software freedom. And you may say, why we celebrate on the 4th Saturday every October? Because it's in sync with our Italian summer vacation, so we really love other European events, but it works in Italy since 2001. For this reason mainly. And again, we are here to talk about licenses. So who is using Anna Montana Linux here? 2 people, okay. So basically, people think that when you buy a computer from a traditional shop, you pay for the computer, you obtain the computer, and then you install whatever you want on that. But it's not really so simple, because something like this happens. So basically, the shop, before selling you the computer, acquired a Microsoft Windows license from the Microsoft, and then, so when you really pay for the computer, you usually obtain a computer with Microsoft Windows on it, and then people decide, I think you decide to destroy the partition of Microsoft Windows to install something Libre. And so finally you can enjoy Anna Montana Linux on your computer. But the thing is, if you notice, you are not using Windows, but you paid for Windows, basically. So Microsoft is earning for something that you are not using, and that's an ethical issue. The thing is, if nowadays, this is kind of the practical thing we suggest to people to get rid of the proprietary license. So basically, okay, you pay the computer, you obtain the computer, and then you must connect that proprietary Windows machine to the internet to be able to see the proprietary license. It's a kind of violation, because it's not clear how to have the terms of services and privacy documents about that connection. So it's not visible in the installation, but if you see that, so please share this information to me. And then you must take a photo of the situation of you should accept the license, and you have not accepted the license, so you should take a photo of that screen on your computer. Then, only after you have the proof that you have not accepted the proprietary license, you can nuke Microsoft, you can destroy Microsoft Windows, you can finally install Anna Montana Linux. Again, please only install Anna Montana Linux, because we only have legal proofs about this distribution. Isn't it Luca Bonissi, or maybe I'm wrong? By the way, then it's kind of weird Texan situation where you should get in touch with the support and say, dear support, dear shop, I have this computer, but I have Anna Montana Linux on it. I have not Microsoft Windows. Here there is my screenshot. Here there is the proof. The talk is starting. And they will basically say, no, there is no refund for you. So you should insist, sudo, give me the damn refund for my Microsoft Windows, because I'm not using Microsoft Windows. So insist, please. And if necessary, write a legal email using the legal certified email system in Italy, because all of you are Italian, hopefully. And at the end of the day, probably the shop finally will say something like, okay, well, you are very kind, I see you are beautiful, I see we are very generous, and so we will decide to give you that damn refund for your license. So they basically pay you for what you are not using. And this is the easy part, but the nation arrived here after having sues against big corporations. So really, our incredible activists, in particular Luca Bonissi, and please applause to Luca Bonissi, tried to acquire computers from HP, Lenovo, Asus, and all the suppliers, all the vendors, just to understand if it was possible to have a refund. And every single company have very different practical behaviors about how to have a refund or not. And some of them also have not a procedure to get their refund. And so, unfortunately, at the moment, if you visit sistemainoperativo.it, we covered a very well-documented situation for Italy, for the country, for the Italy country. But the problem is we need more contributors in other countries that do the same, that just try to acquire a computer from a traditional shop in other countries. And then if that shop does not sell you a computer without Windows, you just contact the shop and ask for a refund. And so we need documentation, we need all these kind of contributions. And really, 10 years ago, we started with a really mess of situations that allowed us to have documentation about this practice. Nowadays, we are kind of extending this to other countries, but without your help, we cannot win this very small ethical issue, because, you know, there are a lot of very good shops that allow you to buy a computer without proprietary software. There are many shops like this, but there are still many manufacturers that does not sell you a computer with free software or does not sell you a computer without any operating system. So for these kind of situations, we would like to extend the documentation, the procedures, to cover as many countries as possible. So again, thank you also to Marta Andreoli for the possibility to also finding money to extend this project. So basically, we are extending the website, sistemainoperativo.it, to cover more languages, but not only languages, more countries, because we are practically talking about legal things, and so it's not something really international. Fortunately, we live in Europe, so we have base law shared against many countries, but unfortunately, we have not so many documented situations around all the planet. So again, it was a really quick journey. Please visit a shop, please buy a computer, please ask for a refund, and please share your experience. So if they say no to you, again, please, Luca Bonissi, come here, and but please applause to Luca Bonissi, because thanks to these activists, now we can share more free software and, well, avoid to pay Microsoft for something that we are not using. Is there any question? I hope no, because I cannot answer, because all the answers are going to be delivered and proxied to Luca Bonissi. And, well, again, maybe there is the slide, no, but any single question can be delivered to the contact point at sistemainoperativo.it. Thank you again.
Thank you, Valerio. I have two questions.
Okay.
So, what are the time frame? You said at the end of the day, but I'm not sure it's really realistic.
It's a pain. You have to be patient
I know.
and resist and write emails and.
So normally, how long does it take to have a refund?
Well,
in your experience,
Luca, please join the theater and come here to share your experiences. Because when somebody has problems, usually Luca Bonissi kind of is a ghost writer between the direct communication between the direct customer and the shop. So we have Luca that assists every single consumer to.
Yes, there are usually when when you get successfully the refund, you take at least 1 month minimum. With Microsoft, I take 3 months. One case with Lenovo takes 24 emails and certified emails, and I think 3 months. Now I have an active court case with Lenovo because Lenovo refused again to give me a refund. So the time is 1 year and a half. I have the first hearing at April 2025.
All right, so it's not
could be
that
very
quick.
challenging.
Okay, very challenging. That's interesting. Is there any question from the public? Yes, a couple. The mic. Yes, correct. My second one. Yeah, my second question was, how much is the reimbursement?
Great. In the worst case, it's basically I think 7 euros or something like that. But for the Windows, some Windows licenses are actually 130 euros also, no? And so this is kind of the span. It depends by the contract between the shop and Microsoft usually. So maybe also the amount of computers that the single shop sells to the customers. But it's really usually also, it may be really about fighting about for 7 euros. Really. So it's not really always like that, but hey, why it's so difficult? It's damn of give me 7 euros. Why you should give that amount of 7 euros to Microsoft just for and having me in a lawsuit for 1 year for 7 euros? Really? So it's an incredible amount of pain. And it shouldn't be like that, honestly.
My opinion in this is, first, I wouldn't accept 7 euros of refund, just because I'm a computer reseller as well. And some brands, and including Lenovo, they used to sell computers with or without Windows, and the prices do not differ for 7 euros. So if they even dare to propose 7 euros of refund, I wouldn't accept, because I can demonstrate that if I buy a computer from Lenovo, let's say it's 200 euros without Windows, and including Windows at 270 euros or 80, something like that. So if the difference buying the very same computer with or without the license of Windows is 80 euros, I pretend I want to have back. I mean, given that in that situation you have the chance to choose between okay, but for other models which do not have this chance to choose, and in this case, I want to have the very same difference. I mean, that must be the difference, since you establish the prices. So that's my first point. And the second, about why do they, resist so much in giving references? Because they are big companies and they have plenty of lawyers anyway, for who knows how many other reasons. So one more or one less is possibly an influence to the budget for the lawyers. That's my opinion, at least.
Yeah, no, thanks. And in 30 seconds, just also for mobile phones, I have not a Play Store, and I don't know how much money were given to the Google just for having not used the Play Store.
There is also another question, maybe? You just answered. Oh, okay. Other comments or questions?
But is there a website for that too? I mean, you mentioned about mobile phones. Is the same, very same website, or that's just for Windows?
At the moment, it's just for Windows. We have no documentation about mobile phones and any other proprietary product. So we really need more people fighting for small things.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yes. Thank you very much again. Big applause.